Angeles, California. It's Landed Late Night. Tonight's guest, Tank. And now, your host, Haley Ringo.
Welcome to Landed Late Night with me, your host, Haley Ringo. Tonight we have a very special guest. He is an R&B icon who recently just went platinum for his single When We, who is continually gracing us with his 8-pack abs, and who just married the baddest bitch in town. Please welcome Tank! Woo! Give me a hug, give me a hug.
How you doing?
We keep dancing. You gotta dance, y'all see.
That's not it.
Do your dance.
I love
you
it.
teach me.
I love it. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I am so good now that you're on my welcome.
Thank
you look good.
Thank you.
And all that rojo.
Yeah, mi rojo.
Mi rojo.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm.
Should I give you a Texas handshake?
Give me some of that.
So good to see you, sir.
Fine, too. Very
I know.
fine.
My daddy taught me well.
Yeah. Shout out to
Oh
Dad.
my gosh. Shout out to Johnny Ringo. That's his name.
Johnny Ringo?
Johnny Ringo.
No way.
It is. And no, really. The Outlaw. Have you seen Tombstone?
Yes.
So he's like my great-great-grandfather, something like that.
Okay.
And that's how I have Choctaw in my blood, apparently, because he married some Native American woman. And then they became an outlaw because they killed his wife, so he started killing people because he went crazy. So that's how the name's been passed down.
Okay.
And I got murderers in my blood. I don't know what that means about me, but
it means
don't mess
you're
with
a killer.
me.
It means you're a killer.
I'm a killer. So Tank and I met when I shot him and Zena's engagement photos a
And you
couple
were
months
awesome,
back.
by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Well, you were awesome. You brought your music. You brought your dance moves. We just were having a good time. And we got to talk a little bit in the car on the way to Malibu of how you got started in music and your whole childhood and teenage years leading up to where you are today, because you're only 25 now. So
Yes.
it's just young and thriving.
It's just my hair keeps getting old. Like I stay young, but my hair gets old.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter. What are looks? It doesn't matter.
I digress.
So I would love to hear. I mean, your story was really inspiring to me in the car, because you've been through a lot. Like it wasn't just like this easy overnight success story, Yeah. Didn't you sing in church choir?
Yeah, it was all church.
Yeah, all church, all
yeah.
Jesus.
That's where it all started, man. That's where my first inspiration began in terms of wanting to sing, and a lot of the artists that influenced me, from like the Reverend John P. Key, Daryl Coley, Fred Hammond Commission, Mississippi Mass Choir, like just all the gospel greats. And the way I was raised, R&B music was like, it was frowned upon. You know what I mean? It was like, don't be out there.
Don't bring that devil music into this house.
The devil's nectar. It was portrayed as such, and so I stayed away from it. And I went through some things in church that that hurt me. You know what I mean? And made me say, hey man, if it's gonna be like this, at least maybe I can get paid for it. You know what I mean? The business of music. It was disheartening, you know what I mean? Because I was like, man, I thought I was in the right place,
right?
To be at least taken care of,
right?
You know what I mean? By those who believe the same thing I believe, right?
And it's hard when you're like, you realize that everybody is just human.
People are just human.
No matter where you are.
No matter where you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I didn't know that as a kid. I was like, hey man, you the preacher. You just took all my publishing.
Yeah.
But that made me say, hey, well, at least if I'm gonna do this music, I'm gonna at least get paid for it. On a better scale, like at least. So, I tried R&B in '96, and I said, maybe I'll sing like nice songs like Boys to Men.
Oh.
Close your eyes, make a
You know what I mean? Maybe I'll be the new Babyface. You know what I mean? Like that's how it started out. And I play my piano and sing my songs and
oh my gosh.
do my Brian McKnight covers.
It's a little like, a little taste.
Never felt this way about love. So, I was singing all the weddings and I would do my thing. And it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a few deals. A lot of people were interested. A company out of DC, Big Dog Records, they signed me, and then we went from RCA Records to Quest Records with Quincy Jones, and finally to Blackground Records, where that became home.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that was not without a bunch of craziness in between as well. You know what I mean? But then this little bitty song that I wrote in my mom's basement. Unfinished basement, might I add, on my little equipment sitting on dressers and one stand.
You know what? It's because you were unfinished business. Like, you still had so much left to pursue.
You're going to correlate that?
Yeah, I'm going to correlate that.
You better
that
work.
was spiritual,
you better use your ministry.
You got outside of church, but then God was like, hey, I'm wherever you are. It don't matter where you at. I'm going to meet you.
And that, I'm going to get to that part because that's a very important piece. This little song, Maybe I Deserve, that, I wrote while I was going through it.
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote word for word, the way it happened. No extras, bells and whistles, a piano, bass, couple drums, that's it. And they must have tried to reproduce this song like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, wow.
Originally, it was for Dave Hollister. I was going to give it to him. They said, yeah, it's a cool song, but you don't need it. Give it to him. And the day before the check came, they called me and said, if you give that song away, we'll kill you. I said, okay. My life for the song.
Well, yeah, like literally?
Yeah,
like, what are we talking
about? Yeah, we won't talk about that. And so, I took this song back, and all of a sudden everybody thinks it's a great song, but then they don't think it's produced very well because I'm a young producer. I don't really know how to produce. And so they tried to have like some very prominent people reproduce this song, and none of those reproductions worked. And what people soon realized is that the simplicity of what that was with the simplicity of what the song was, and then the melody and then the lyric, it was a marriage that made the song more than either of those pieces alone would be. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't take the lyrics and the melody and put it on something else and it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or just take the track and stand alone and play it and people are like, oh, that's amazing. No, it was all of it together that made it very dope.
Yeah.
And it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it worked. And, the beauty of that song working for me was that I knew I could just be myself and win. You know what I mean? I didn't have to create a character.
Which is so true, because even like in any profession, I feel like even with this show, like my whole thing is, and I preach this all the time, like authenticity, just being who you are all the time. Yeah. And obviously there's certain circumstances where it's hard. Like for me, shooting this first episode, I'm nervous, but then we start talking and I'm fine, Because it's you. I'm like, we're hanging out. We're just chilling.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, make a
But like, it's so much better to people feel that when you're yourself and you're putting out records or songs and music that rings true to you, people are going to feel that. They're going to be drawn to that. And that's how you get successful. Like, it's people sense when you're not being yourself.
And that's what I think, true success is in terms of longevity, because the idea of longevity is being able to deliver something constantly and consistently. You know what I mean? And I can deliver me all day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as long as I'm living life, the content feeds itself. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just have to keep my eyes open and keep my smell going and keep my ears open.
Your senses alive.
To keep my senses alive, to recognize the things that are going on around me and with me.
Yeah.
And that's how I make my music. And so that worked. I've definitely had the ups and downs. You know what I mean? Like most artists in this business. I mean, I've been hot. I've employed the same bouncers that right after wouldn't let me in.
You can't even get in.
You know what I mean? Like, I've definitely been there where you're just like, man, you just got off the road with me, you ain't gonna let me in $100. I'm like, hey, man, they put the arm bar on me. Hold on, who you with? I'm with me.
We know each other.
To work with me.
Yeah, what the? Come on.
And to waiting outside of the club, waiting on Jamie to pull up. Yeah, Fox, you close? You close?
Blame it on the loose, got you feeling loose.
Yeah, they won't let me in just yet. But when you get here, we're going to have a good time. My man, I see this. Fox is on the way.
Yeah.
He's on the way. He said if I can go check out the, no? Okay, all right. They're not going to let me check out the section, but yeah, I'm waiting on you, baby. All right, brother. Okay, don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
So I've had all of that, you know what I mean? To a lot of money to no money. When there's nothing you can do about your current situation, like, being upset and distraught and depressed about it doesn't change it. And ultimately does not help it.
That's so true.
You don't find resolve in depression.
Yeah.
You don't find resolve in defeat. You find resolve in fighting back. You know what I mean? And so that's when I became good with that place. You know, because I'm an athlete first, right? So on the other side of defense is either a touchdown or it's a layup.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which equals points. Those points add up equals to a win. All right, I'm a gamer, so let's play video games, all right? At the end of every level, there's a monster. You beat that monster, or you lose a few times, you find the cheat code to have a bunch of lives, and then you fight the monster until you beat the monster, and then you go to the next level.
Yeah.
If nothing is trying to stop you, okay, then there is no movement.
Yeah.
I double back to growth is so important. You know what I mean? Because there's a sickness that'll plague you, that'll plague successful people when they get successful to a point that they just feel like they're good. And so that's how we have people that are stuck in a time warp. That still dress like when they were successful, that still talk like when they were successful, that still make music like when they were successful, because they was really successful in like 82. And they were like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell me nothing.
And in 2018, they're still in 82.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be the guy that was very successful in 2001. And in 2018, I was still 2001.
Right.
With, you know, leather pants with the leather baseball
That's why I
jersey,
should have had you
like,
come on the show and all your leather.
and my bandanas, and you know what I mean?
That
Like,
would have been something.
you know, and the chain with my name on it, because no one knows my name. But I wanted to grow. And that's the thing that has me, you know, 18, 19 years later, with my first platinum, my first platinum record on myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been fighting 18 years for that. You know what I mean? And staying connected and staying in it and staying hungry so that I could get this. And now that I've gotten a taste of it, now I need more. You know what I mean? Now that's what platinum.
That tastes good.
You know what I mean? Now I need the platinum buffet.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's what I always encourage people. Like keep growing, keep listening, keep evolving. You know what I mean? Because that's the good stuff, man.
Throughout your whole life, you know, you've had opposition, but you've done incredible things. You know, when we just went platinum, like that's insane.
Right.
You know, and I guess what would be like the biggest obstacle that you've gone through in your career? Can you name just one?
Early on in my career, everything to me was personal. You know, and it was hard to separate, you know, decisions that had to be made about me and not take them personally.
Yeah.
Because everything for me is connected to my gift. You know what I mean? With my gift, I feed my kids. I give my mama stuff, my dad, my sister, you know, like I take care of my family. You know, it's the way I breathe. It's, you know, it's what I bleed. So when you're making a decision, you know, about what you think is just a smart business decision, you're completely affecting my life in one direction or another. And it was hard for me not to take that personally.
Right.
It was hard for me not to like say, oh yeah, so you don't want to put no more money into the marketing budget? Let's step outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
We're gonna take this outside right now.
like let's get into it then. You know what I mean? It was hard for me, you know, to separate, you know, who I was personally from business.
Right.
And it cost me a lot of years in the business that I can't get back. It's funny because it's like I was taken through a valley to discover more. You know what I mean? To discover more about myself than I was learning, you know, at this mountaintop. You know what I mean? Like I was at the mountaintop and I was just floating, and the cash was coming in and the clothes were coming. Like everything was just, you know, everything was great And I was very happy and content with where I was. And in order to be shown that there was more, I had to be completely knocked down off that space. And I had to literally like walk barefoot in the valley, you know what I mean, with all of my tools. And whenever I had to stop and he said dig, I had to dig and find this piece about myself. Oh, got it. Keep walking to the next spot and dig and find that next piece about myself. You know what I'm saying? Until eventually I was like, wow, 5 years later, what a journey. No album out, no nothing. Just valley, just making music for other people, living vicariously through other people, wishing I could be there. God, when is it gonna be my turn? Is it ever gonna be my turn again? 2007, Sex, Love, and Pain, debut #1, first 2 Grammy nominations. Like,
woo, chills. I just got chills.
you know what I mean? Like a moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
But in that valley is when you grow, and that's when you discover that like there's so much more to life. Reading about people that have more money than God, you know, and they're miserable, and if things are all easy, and it's like, well, yeah, because on some level that makes sense, you know. It's when everything is at your fingertips at all the time. Like if the buffet is in front of you, but you don't have to pay any money ever, and you could just get everything that you do could go platinum all the time, and you could have as many Grammys as you want all the time. What's the fun in that? You know, what's the journey in that? What are you learning from that? Nothing. If it's just easy, like.
Well, that's when you have to understand, you know, that this space or this moment or this thing, whatever that is, like it's been mastered. You have it. Now, how do you use that resource to either master something else or teach and raise new masters? You know, I've seen people that just, I mean, they just, you know, everything that they roll out is like, it's crazy and it happens, but it goes back to the process. We don't see the process.
Right.
The beast that this music business is, the beast that entertainment is, it's not in the book. But when it comes down to really getting into the nitty-gritty of negotiating.
Oh, we can talk in a British accent now?
Well, I'd like to throw that out there.
I would love to talk like this for the rest of the episode. That's lovely.
My nuts and bolts and nooks and crannies.
Yes, yes, love it. London. He's actually from London, but this entire time he's been putting on an American accent.
No, I always use my American accent when I'm trying to get my American point across, because no one has lived the life that we've lived in London, so it's a bit difficult. Back to my American way. So like I was saying,
this is why we hit it off when we met, because I was like, he's like, oh, she's so weird, I'm weird, cool, perfect.
Close your eyes, make a.
But learn the business. You know what I mean? Understand the value of what you have and what you're doing. It's nuances to this thing that are not in the book.
Right.
And you need to ask questions. You need to study. You need to align yourself with good people. Like, you need information.
Yeah. So having mentors.
A hit record is just not enough.
Right.
It's not enough. Like, you have to know what that hit record means. To know what it means, not just from people screaming, but from a financial and a business standpoint. You have to understand it.
Yeah, I know. And I love talking about it, and it's just like, I love seeing that, you know, that you're aware of that, and and I love also hearing how much growth means to you, because those are for sure, specifically growth, and learning about who I am as a person has been a theme in my life the past like couple months. And so just hearing that that's like a big part of your life makes me feel like I'm on somewhat of the right track.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
So
somewhat is not even halfway. You know what I mean? Like, you know, seeing you, meeting you as, you know, as a photographer, an amazing one at that.
Thank you.
And then being here, not too long after.
Yeah.
Like that's progress for your ass. Like that's some grind, and that's some work, and that's some thought process, and some new energy, and some new goals.
Yes.
And you know what I mean?
So many. If anything, I got too many. I'm like, I need to focus on, you know, make task, and then finish that one, and then knock them down.
And you don't go to the next one. So like, the dominoes don't fall until the one in front of it does. You know what I mean? You have to knock it down.
I love all your metaphors. I'm gonna have you go home and write these all down. Send them to me later.
Well, you know, I started off as a rapper. Most people don't know that. I was MC Hurricane.
Oh,
So,
shit. No, you were not.
Yeah, I was MC Hurricane. And so,
Okay.
you know, so when I write R&B music, I don't really write it down. I just freestyle it because it moves a lot slower than rap. You know, when you have to rap, you have to think quick on your feet. I had this rap called Rated R. And I used to rap against all the gangsters in the neighborhood. I don't remember it, so don't
I'm like,
do
come
it.
on, give us a little.
Yeah, don't do it.
MC Hurricane in the
MC
house.
Hurricane,
Here we go.
Yeah, I let that loose here, but that's it. Hurricane's retired.
Well, all right, now we're going to get to a little game.
Okay.
All right, so this game is called Commit or Hit.
Okay.
So the whole point is commitment, okay? So we're each going to have 3 words. I don't know what your words are, and you don't know what mine are. And I'm going to start. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to make you start because you're really good
Okay.
at freestyling. And so basically they're crazy words. You're going to make up a song with that word. It literally just make it up. And then I'm going to keep your song going, but with and incorporate the word that I have.
Okay, I like it.
If any of us break character, then we have to drink. And then we'll go to the next round.
The beverage.
The beverage.
Yes, okay. All right.
Oh.
You got your word?
I got my word.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Eating me some cereal, taste a little bitter. Who would have known I was eating cat litter?
Wait, I'm already breaking the
I won off top. This is easy.
I was already laughing because I'm like,
you're gonna be a pushover. Can I drink too? No.
yeah, you're gonna drink too.
No.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep it going. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm feeling so good. It's late night, it's first day. I really want to eat a piece of broccoli on the way to church. Okay. That was horrible. Why did I choose this game? It's so bad.
I love it.
Woo! All right.
I love it.
Now I start.
Okay, go ahead. Oh my God.
You had like a country theme going on for
Yes,
a second there.
I thought that would throw you off. So
It did throw me off.
Keep the country thing going.
Okay. I'm gonna I got these curtains from West Elm. They came out so clean, but I don't have any steamer on me, so they kind of wrinkly. What? Feel it good, yeah. Feeling good. They pink and saucy like some cheese, yeah.
It's like cheese, yeah?
Like
cheese, yeah? All the cheese they was getting on the breeze, yeah. I saw them, they was taking everything looter. They was broken down with waist scooter. They was going down the street scooter. Scooter. Did I win? Did we win? Did I lose?
I was like, we both won.
Just want to make sure I got the word in. Scooter.
Scooter. Also, that was your word. Scooter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you drink.
I don't know. Let's just try.
That was a good one. I mean, I rapped, so.
I didn't know that was legal. But
about some cheese and curtains.
I just went with you.
All right, now it's your turn. This last round.
Said my son, he's going to bed and he wants a story from his dad. He said, can you read me a fable from the book on the bedside table? I said, son, yes I can and I will. I'm your dad and you know it's real.
I just made you some pasta for bed. It's got oregano and basil and some really saucy red. I love to read you stories with the sauce from the table. But now it's time for you to go and make some green sauce and cable. I cannot. I thought that was pretty damn good.
I'm sweating.
I'm sweating.
Oh, Papa Molly.
Oh, man. All right, yep.
You know, I just want to drink for you.
Thank you. I mean, if late night goes wrong and
you
know, I'll just be a country singer. Country singer with some oregano and oregano. That was my word.
Ate some cable. That's fine.
Oh my gosh. I love you so much. Like, thank you so much
yes,
for coming on my show.
Yes.
Did you have fun?
I had a ball. I had a ball. You are hysterical.
If you guys want to hear Tank and I's full episode, the link link is right here below. And subscribe, please, to the podcast. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, Late Night Show. We're trying to get the word out.
Early.
And yeah, Tank, you want to send him off with your laugh? Oh my gosh, so good.